We had cause to contact Peter Dutton's office this week to ask politely if, since Peter was so keen on nuclear energy and the waste, the radioactive nuclear waste, had to be stored somewhere, if he would be happy to have it stored perhaps in his electorate of Dixon, even perhaps at Unit 3, number 199, Gympie Road, Strathpine, for instance. If there was not enough room at Peter's electoral office, however, there are plenty of great sites around Moreton Bay where the waste might be stored. I mean, after all, it has to be housed somewhere, doesn't it? And we're not just talking about the opportunity to house the waste from the AUKUS submarines deal, but also from the nuclear power plants of which Peter and his Sky News chipmunks speak so effusively as the answer to Australia's energy future. SMRs, small modular reactors all across the country. The best coverage of this issue this week was, of course, not in the mainstream media, but in that august journal, The Shovel, which splashed with this robust story. Party that was unable to build commuter car park unveils plans to build 71 nuclear reactors. Can we expect them to be delivered sometime after the nuclear subs, these reactors? The timeline now is shaping up as 1, let's go to war with China. 2, nuclear subs delivered at a cost of $370 billion if Alba's crew manages to execute ScoMo's AUKUS deal on the predicted costs and timeline. 3, turn of the century. 4, nuclear energy. We may know a little more soon as the government has commissioned a report into nuclear waste dumps. Ironically, as Rex Patrick reveals on the MW website this week, they commissioned the same guy who did an expert's report a while back on the same subject, where to store the waste, and found there were no suitable places to dump nuclear waste. That was on a survey of 200 options. So it will be no doubt very interesting to see whether now that he's been commissioned by the government that he's changed his mind. Now, Australian governments, of course, hanker for a good old war. The US just has to call us up, spin some story about evil blokes in caves or weapons of mass destruction, whatever, and off we go to kill a few people in the name of freedom and the global rules-based order. ScoMo seemed keen to get us involved in Ukraine, but it was a long way away geographically, and the US didn't go, so we held off there. But now there is another opportunity presented to us this week. We're asked by the US Navy to send a warship to the Red Sea to protect US shipping lanes. Just this week, incredibly, in a feat of defiance and independence, Defence Minister Richard Marles has not signed up as yet. Check it out. Marles to weigh up Mid-East warship. So no quick decision on getting roped into a war in the Middle East just yet, despite this exciting opportunity to have another war. Maybe help out our friend, the genocide guy in Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, who the world has now woken up, and Australia voted for a ceasefire in the UN finally this week. And it seems to be twigging that good old Benji has scammed the US into backing its self-defense, backing the self-defense of Israel, which is turning out now with even ministers on the record from Israel basically admitting it's a land grab. Australia finally even voted for a ceasefire. What chutzpah, what slap in the face for Benji's US-funded program of mass murder of the Palestinians. Yet, in the absence of hard evidence that we're definitely getting scammed into another war for the wrong reasons, the scam of the week must go to the population Ponzi scheme, which was finally addressed by the government this week when they announced that they will curtail migration. The brutal reality of nowhere to house people and massive deluge of new migrants. The scam here is that our politicians and big business love unbridled migration because it puts the gloss on their budgets and on their profit numbers. It enhances demand for their goods and services. It's cheap labour for big biz and a few points on GDP growth for government. The scam, of course, here is that the reduction in the rate of migration has been delayed, as Claire O'Neill put it this week, until well after the election, so government can tart up its economic credentials. Scam of the week to Claire O'Neill and the population Ponzi scheme. Thank you for your support. Please like, share, comment in the section below.